Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chloe Brown, and if you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, you guys are more than welcome to subscribe right down below, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Today is actually going to be a very different video. I'm literally just sitting down on the floor. I've been wanting to film this video for a long time. I just didn't know like when the right time would be, but I think now is. So I've talked about it kind of before. My dad passed away, jeez, freaking 4 years ago this August, and it's definitely hard. I think losing a family member, losing a parent, I think it's hard losing anybody. But with the passing of Chris Cornell this past week, it's just really made me just think about my dad a lot. Music was my dad's passion. Music was my dad's life. And he actually taught himself how to play guitar just by listening. And he literally could play anything you turned on. He would just have to listen to it like one time and he'd be good to go. He was very talented in that way. He had a band room like all growing up. And so like the little things in his band room were like things that I wanted when he passed away, just because he was so passionate about it. And there was like little trinkets or little pictures, I don't know, just the way that he had decorated his band room, like that's the way his house looked ever since I could remember. He lived in an apartment, and his apartment was actually like a band room with a bed in it. So I don't know, him and my mom got divorced when I was 1, so like that kind of decor was all I remember. Anyways, that's besides the point. My dad listened to a lot of Soundgarden. My dad listened to a lot of Tool. My dad listened to a lot of Nirvana. My dad listened to a lot of music in general. And the cool thing about it was that for me, music is a thing that has a lot of memories connected to it. And for some reason, there's a couple of songs that like really hit home for me and my dad, and Black Hole Sun was one of them. He loved that song. And I loved that song. We listened to it all the time, and actually my uncle had like this huge sun, like black sun mirror in his house, and I just remember like looking at that sun mirror every single time I'd go to his house, and like I would sing Black Hole Sun to myself when I would see it, and I just like look in the mirror and be like, Black Hole Sun. Anyways, I absolutely adore Chris Cornell as an artist. I think he's amazing. His voice is just one of a kind, but it's just such a tragedy that he passed, and like I said, it just brought back a lot of memories that I had with my dad, and it just kind of made me think that this is like the right time to film this video. And I don't even know how to film it. Most of the time I'm fine with losing my dad, but there are some times where it just like hits home, and he died so tragically and so suddenly that like I didn't, even though I was physically there to say goodbye, like he was already in a coma and on life support, so his brain was dead by the time I was there, which sucks, but it's been a hard thing. Me and my dad didn't have like the best relationship growing up as a child, and I think it was because I just didn't live with him. I didn't really grow to get to know him. All my siblings were at my mom's house, and my dad didn't have any kids. And so whenever I would go over to my dad's house, we'd usually just like hang out with my aunt and uncle and stuff, which was fine. I loved it. But unfortunately, there was just some beliefs that I developed that were false, and I grew a lot of bitterness towards that. It was just back and forth. Any teenager doesn't want to go to their dad's house for the weekend. They want to hang out with their friends. So we kind of just like distance grew, whatever. And then he ended up getting married and having another son, but he always tried to like have a relationship with me. And it wasn't until like 3 years after he passed away that like I found out who my dad was. think he respected my mother so much that he didn't want to fight. He'd just rather like sit back and hurt rather than like cause friction between like me and my mom, if that makes sense. So I'm just thankful that we had those 3 years that were amazing, and having my dad pass away like really made me realize I need to take care of myself, because I could be a carrier of the disease that he passed away from. I don't know, I was young when my dad died, and I'd just been married for a couple years, 2 years, 2.5 years, and not a lot of my friends had dealt with like their dads passing away. My dad was only 51 when he passed away, so like everybody just said, oh, you know, sorry, which I don't think anybody can say anything when somebody like you love passes away. Nobody can say anything that like makes you feel better. But my stepdad, he lost his brother at an early age. His brother was, I think, 26 when he passed away, but my stepdad just told me something that I still carry on to this day, and he said, time doesn't change anything, and it's never gonna be okay. And I think that that was like the thing that helped me the most, is just knowing like it's okay to hurt. And he said, you just have to figure out a new normal. And I don't like my new normal. It still sucks. I'm thankful for memories, and I'm thankful for songs, because those live on forever, you know? Like every time a song comes on, I think of like certain rooms I was in when I heard that song for the first time, or like smells or little objects. So I feel comforted in listening to things that I have memories with my dad with. I don't know, I don't really have that like musical connection to a lot of people where like a song makes me think of them. Like me and my husband, we don't really like, we're not connected musically on that level. Like if an Incubus song came on or something, I'd be like, oh, my husband. But like with my dad, there's very, very specific songs that mean so much to us, and so I'm thankful for that. But just been really hard. My poor family has dealt with so much these past couple years. Last year my aunt died unexpectedly from an asthma attack. And she left behind 3 little babies. And so my cousins are doing the best that they can, you know. They're all, so one of them's in junior high, one of them's in high school, and one of them just started college, and ugh, that just sucks. But and then my grandma passed away. My grandma was dealing with thyroid cancer. It was like all in her lymph nodes or whatever, and it was terminal, but they were trying to prolong her life, and it was helping, definitely. My aunt lived with my grandma at that time, and my aunt passed away in July. God, July of last year was the worst for me. I lost one of my best friends too. She got ran over by a car, but so my grandma was going through all of her cancer, and she was amazing. When my dad passed away, I think we talked like every single week, and she was an emailer, so all of our conversations are in email form, and so I'm able to keep all those, which is awesome. She wasn't doing so well, and my aunt suddenly passed away, and they were living together, like I said, so my grandma was the one who found my aunt. She, you know, while she was having an asthma attack, and I think after that my grandma just fell apart. think she just gave up. I would too, you know? Losing your son and then losing your daughter right before your eyes. But I was able to have some sweet, sweet, precious moments with her, which I'm really thankful for. And she was able to meet Coraline, which was awesome. I think the best thing was that my dad got saved just a couple weeks before he passed away. And that was cool how that all manifested out. It was like God orchestrated like a perfect plan, but my grandma was a believer, and so I was able to, I don't know, I kind of feel comforted in the fact that, like, I told her the last day that I saw her, I was like, just tell Dad all about Coraline. I think that's the hardest thing, is having a child and not having my dad be here. What can you do, you know? Could be worse. I don't even know if I want to post this video because I've been crying the whole time. I just noticed that there's an outlet right behind me. I should probably still like this. But even though, like, I think why I'm recording all this, being raw and vulnerable and crying, is that even through all the loss, God is still good. And you don't see it when it's happening, but you see it later. Like, the pain doesn't go away, but you find beauty in it, and you find a lot of healing, and you find a lot of brokenness in yourself. I think that if my dad wouldn't have passed away, I probably would have still been dealing with my eating disorder, and so in that regard, he like saved my life. I don't know. And I was able to have Coraline because of me getting healthy. So it's kind of like he gave me her. It just doesn't mean that like he's here though, you know? Anyways, we all pass away. We just gotta live for today, you know, and make the best of it. I don't know. No more tears. Hey, at least these eyelashes still look good, right? Goodness gracious. Okay. I am gonna end this here because it's just a whole bunch of me rambling. I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if I'm gonna post it, but I felt like I just need to get it out there and just talk about it. Release it. I think that's, I just need to get it out. And if it helps somebody, it helps somebody, but unfortunately during the sucky circumstances of losing an amazing artist, all of this came about. So very, very thankful for music, I think, above all. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Next time I won't be crying, okay? I just needed to do this for me. I think it also sucks because my dad's birthday is coming up in a couple of days. So it's kind of just fresh, you know? Reminded. All right.